any of my men in here sports fans? I'm sorry to ruin this for you. But any of my men in here sports fans, like, not anymore! Any of you?
2 years.
Yeah. Okay, so is there a team that you can look at right now and say, what is going on with the players?
Yeah, I'm a Chargers fan, so I did that with Philip Rivers for years. Got 18 in one season, thrown in the first round playoffs.
Right, so when you look at that, do you see how the other players some of them can't hold a candle to the players? Do you see that? That's because their numbers are moved. So your sports, wrestlers, basketball players, baseball players, any type of sports has numbers, right? You have to maintain your body, your BMI, you have to maintain your stats. Football, you have to maintain your numbers for speed. Those numbers are moved. Go check them out. Those numbers are moved quickly, depending on what they take for sponsors. Now, what goes on upstairs is sponsors in the boxes or even on the players' playground. What they do is there's traffickers up there that are meeting with people who have promos. Those promos will get them cover magazines, MVP, deals, what's those called when you get to be on like a Coke commercial or you show up somewhere?
Endorsements.
Endorsements, thank you. The endorsements, they're up there in those boxes. Now what they do is they go up there and say, hey, I noticed you played really good today. We can move your numbers around and we can make you the star player. We can put you on a Center magazine. We can get you on this Coke commercial. And then they're like, I want to be the next LeBron. That's why he is LeBron. But, legends never die. There's a reason for that. Kobe, too. LeBron. Some people asked me in December of 2020 when I brought up LeBron, they were like, you're thinking of Kobe. No, all niggas don't look the same. They just, I'm telling you right now, and I say niggas because I'm telling you those are niggas, but they don't look the same. And there's different dirt. And if you look, their numbers are different. Their base different. Their endorsements are different. If you go to the players that are sitting on the bench, they play way better than them. Men, have you seen that? Some of my 90s men, have you seen that? Like, the ones that are on the centerfolds and the magazines, you can look at the ones that are just like shooting just to practice and you're like, why isn't he playing? Because he's not taking the deals yet. He's not upstairs in those boxes having sex with children to help people do semen snatching. There's females up there that are adults that run up there to stay in those boxes. Those box seats you can get for family. You can get them for friends. You can get special tickets to have people kind of sitting up really high and watching the game instead of sitting in those nosebleed stadium tickets where you got to look down and feel like you're going to pass out, and squeeze your legs and hurt your knees when you're trying to like wipe off people's makeup getting out. You know what I mean? Those seats are expensive seats as well, but when you're sitting up in those box seats, those are the seats that when you're up there, you're making deals. You're making deals for numbers. You're making deals. There's some females up there that go up there to get the players' semen. Again, we talked about this a little bit, but getting their semen helps them get pregnant, which gives them child support, which pays their way for 18 years. If you steal a player's semen and you get pregnant, you don't have to sign a non-disclosure. You do not have to sign a prenup. If they are able to bring the DNA back, that that's their kid. So some adult females stand up there and traffic themselves, is basically what I'm saying. And they do that on purpose. And what happened to me is here we go with the sweat again. I had to be in a situation where running down my leg and still somebody came up to me and made sure that they grabbed that to try to get pregnant by the player. Staples Stadium. I called my mom. This is documented with Child Protective Services. Nobody wanted to talk about it because they're players. Those are your sports team. America is based on what? So if all the men were to wake up and to put an end to the Super Bowl, if everybody would back out of sports, do you know what would happen? You would cripple the nation. If people knew that some of your sports games are CGI and video games, you'd cripple the nation. Men pay money. Men sit down in front of their TV. There's Super Bowl games. You know, wives are making chicken wings and beer and just trying to give their men a good time. You know what I mean? Like, just to watch a sports game that's realistic and sometimes in their video game is way better. Why? Because sometimes the players are not on the field. It's fake. Sometimes they are on the field. You see them dropping like flies lately? Just dropping like flies all over. Soccer, football, wrestling, all over the place. They just drop it. You see the fake ambulances pulling up? There's a reason for that. There's another thing that happens, cloning in the players' playground. Some of them are not the players that you see. Some of them have on prosthetics. Some of them are, I'd say, creatures. They're hybrid. That does exist, where their DNA is taken, again, for cloning facilities, like hair shaved, teeth pulled out, DNA taken, things like that. So let's say they break their hand quickly. There's something that can be used with machines. So med beds. We all know about med beds, right? So there's a definition of med beds going on backwards right now. If somebody hurts themselves, they can get well like that in sports because it's a DNA thing. They take their DNA, they use that for cloning facilities, they re-bring them back, and they're back to playing. Even though they may be a shitty player, they need their face. So let's say some of them have one leg. Some of them you'll see them dribbling together. It'll look like somebody carried the basketball over to the hoop. Like, you know, those 3-pointers that don't even look like 3-pointers? And you're like, how the hell did... And then all the men are like, yeah! Like, but in reality, it's a green screen. Somebody takes that ball and moves it to the hoop and then checks the TV, and what's the ratings? Did we go up? Cool. Let's do that again. There's somebody who remotes your commercials as you watch them. You know, those commercials that pop up on the regular TV, those 3 commercials. There's somebody who sits in the background and actually makes those commercials pop up on your TV screen. That's their job. I don't know what that's called, but that's their job. Your whole world is a stage. How I know that is because I've been up there with them. I had to sleep with one of the players. I didn't even sleep with one of them. I was assaulted by one of the players that had a prosthetic cheek. And when he took it off, like the I don't even know what was going on inside of his mouth. I could smell it. It was gross. Again, the research is endless. And I'm not... Why? Who would want to sit here and make this How can you make this